Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where my motto is, wine is not a mystery, it's just a beverage. Today we're going to look at a new winery, to me, a new winery. It's not a new winery, called Chacewater out of Lake County, California. I'm excited. They sent me a couple samples. I told them I'd give them a try. So we're going to do that. Before I do that, though, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Since we only have two wines to taste, I just want to show you something. Have you ever walked in a store and they have these little tags, we call them post-offs. See these? Are you familiar with these? You walk in a store and you see these, and for instance, this one is for Robert Mondavi Private Selection Sauvignon Blanc. It says the regular price is $17.49. Now they're only charging you $10.99, save $6.50. I'm just going to tell you, Robert Mondavi Winery will never, ever, ever sell their Sauvignon Blanc for $17.49. This is what we call, I'm going to zoom in one more time, an inflated front line right there so that the bottom line looks a lot better. So you get the picture? Don't let that fool you. Now it's different if you walk in a store and a wine steward, they have something marked down in a bin and they say, well, you know, we just couldn't sell it, we're really marking it down. Yeah, maybe that means something. But don't believe those TPRs. Now, not all wineries do that, but a lot of them will, and I see people walk into my department and they just look for the one that has the biggest markdown. They buy that wine. You know what? It doesn't make it the best wine. It doesn't make it the best deal. Some of those numbers are made up. You just have to recognize that. I thought I'd give you that little tip. Hopefully you shop in a store that has a wine steward or somebody that can help you. Not like those big, gigantic box type stores that just set up a really wine department with cards on it with the such and such a score from such and such a person. You know, you want to go to a place where there's somebody there to help you. Don't you prefer that? I do. Which brings me to the second little thing that kind of been on my mind lately, and that is all this debate about the 100-point scoring system started by Robert Parker Jr. Now come on guys, how much space are we going to waste on our blog, our website, or whatever, beating this dead horse? I just read an article recently where they said, let's give up the 100-point system. Guess what guys, it's here to stay, just get used to it. The only peeve I have with the 100-point system, and it's become like an 88 to 100-point system. I mean, very rarely will anybody publish a lower score. That's great for the wineries if they didn't like their wine, whatever, but we're here to help the consumer. At least that's what I'm here for. If I find a wine that, you know, really is overpriced for what you know, for the quality, you know, I want the consumer to know that. By the same token, I will always put a side note that some people will like this wine, because those scoring, grading, whatever we do is very subjective. You know, as much as we like to, you know, we look for acidity, we look for balance, we look for tannins, we look for structure, we look for all those balance and things, and maybe that's why, hopefully that's why how I grade a wine. But deep down inside, we all have preferences. You know, sometimes it's hard to get past those. Trust me, we try to get past them, but, you know, there's that human factor. So let's give up the debate about 100-point scoring system. It's no different than the 5 glasses, 3 stars, whatever. They're all the same. They're just the blogger, the writer, the critic, whatever, the columnist is just trying to convey to you, give you some sort of scale to see where they place this wine. That's all it's about. So let's quit beating that dead horse. All right. I have 2 wines from Chacewater out of Lake County, Kelseyville. I just spent some time there this last summer working the crush with Steel Winery, a well-known winery up in that area. We're going to start off with the Chardonnay. This is a 100% made with organically grown grapes. 2012 from Lake County. I've never tried this wine. I've never seen this winery, so I'm kind of excited about that. Let's see if we can get a good shot there. It's called Chacewater. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. We'll just do that. Okay. So, see that? Hopefully I'm not wiggling around too much for you. 2012. It rolls in at $33. So they're not shy about the price. That's okay. There's lots of Chardonnays out there that are more than that. They sent me a little card with this I just want to read. The winemaker is Mark Birch. Mark Birch. This Chardonnay is organically grown. It comes from sourced from vineyards out of Lake County, Lake County, California. It's aged 12 months in 40% new and 60% used French oak barrels. 100% barrel fermented. 7 months on the lees. There you go. Let's see what we get on the nose. See, now this is, I love this. It's got a little buttered popcorn, a little bit of oak, a lot of pears. I get a little bit of minerality, which I find very interesting. But very creamy pears on the nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. Nice balance. There's a nice fresh acidity there. The oak is there. It starts to like, at first I was going, oh no, I'm going to get some really big oak. It's still there, but it's balanced. It's just hidden in the backdrop. Like, you know, a lot of people want oak to be. Some people like to chew on their Chardonnay. I'm not in that category, but I know there's people who do. I respect you, have no problem with that. It's just not what I like. So this has a nice, like a fresh, like almost like a steely element on the back end. Nice pears, good balance. It is definitely not a over-the-top Chardonnay. It has nice balance. It kind of strikes a balance. It's got a lot of pear notes, a little bit of apple on the backside. I get a nice minerality on the finish. Yeah, a little bit of butteriness on the back end. I like that. Very fresh. This is a kind of Chardonnay. What I like about this Chardonnay, at least from my perspective, is it's fresh enough to go with some seafood, halibut, cod, and yet at the same time it's certainly got the oaky character, would make it nice with a cream sauce of some sort. Not too heavy, you know, it might bury it a little bit. It's got a nice long finish. I'm just getting a little bit of like a spicy element, spicy mineral element on the backside. $33, you know, it's not cheap, but it's not bad for what you're getting. And this has enough guts to it, enough acidity. This thing would, you know, you could put 3 or 4 or 5 years on this. Wouldn't hurt it a bit. I'm going to give this a B+. I think the only reason I don't go in the A category is because of the price. I understand organically grown grapes, you know, it takes a little bit more to do that. I understand that. And for those of you who are looking for that sort of thing, I think it's good play. B+. Good job, guys. Now we're going to move on to the Chacewater Petite Sirah, Lake County, 2011. They have a pretty cool label. Take a look at that. Okay. Chacewater is on the side there. Hopefully you can see that label. Okay. So this is their Petite Sirah. Now they do some pretty good Petite Sirahs there. I've had a couple that I really like. This rolls in at $20, so not a bad price. Let's see what their little card said. It's 94% Petite Sirah, 6% Petite Verdot. Again, winemaker's Mark Birch. 20 months in new and used French oak. 14.5 alcohol. There you go. Let's see what we get on the nose. Sorry guys, I forgot the tablecloth. Getting a little currant, a little bit of blueberry on the backside. A definite mineral element to it. I'll swirl on a piece of paper. You know, for some reason I always, because I never have a tablecloth on my bar, I always forget to put it on here before I shoot the video. I'm going to try, I'll get there, Bear with me. Get a little cherry element. It's kind of a brooding nose, you know. It's like you feel like there's a lot underneath this wine, but it's, you know, not all coming through aromatically. I get a little bit of tobacco, currants, blueberry, tobacco. Let's see what it does on the palate. This is pretty serious stuff. I get a real spice. I mean, the spices on the backside are like a little leather, a little grittiness. Actually, I need a little steak or some nice stinky cheese right now. That's what I'm feeling when I'm drinking this. I get currants, I get a little blueberry, there's a little bit of a mocha vanilla hit on the mid palate. It's very, it's very concentrated, good balance, good structure, a lot of spice on this. I'm liking the spicy element of it. Like, I get some interesting like warm spices with a little bit of white pepper, a lot of leather, which I like. Some serious, like, crushed rock, grippy leather thing going on the back end. Definitely needs some food. This isn't one of those wines where you casually sit back on the couch and watch a football game, and you gotta have some snacks around. You know, a little pepperoni, maybe some cheese would be perfect with this wine. You know, this has some nice, this is a nice little Petite Sirah. I like it. Chacewater, Petite Sirah, Lake County, 20 bucks. This showed better than any of the Petite Sirahs I did in that episode a while back on Petite Sirah. I wish I would have had this. This would have been nice to play against it. Flavors are still hanging around in my mouth. I'm loving this one. I'm gonna give it an A. It's a good Petite, well made, good acid. Like the blueberry on the finish, just kind of hangs around there. A, yes, I'm going to go with an A on this. I think it's way above average. I think it's a supreme wine for $20. And I think I believe they told me they are looking to sell direct. So if you want to get your hands on some of this wine, they have a website, which I will put down below as a link. Hopefully I can get that up there. It's www.chacewaterwine.com. You know, if you're a big Petite Sirah fan, you like Petite Sirah like I do, this is one worthy of seeking out. And if you're into the organic side of Chardonnay, or just a really good Chardonnay, you know, I know it's 33 bucks, but you know, it's got a lot of good things going on. It's got a little white burgundy action meets California thing going on. I like that. Two good wines. I appreciate being able to taste them. And hope you learned something today. I'll put the link down below. Make a comment. Let me know you're watching this. Especially you homeboys out there. my friends that are watching this, just make a little comment. Say, hey Stan, you looked a little funky in that striped shirt. Hey Stan, don't forget to put the tablecloth on next. Whatever you want to say. Or give me some ideas for what you want to know in future episodes. Thanks for watching. Here's to keeping the snob out of wine. Have a fantastic weekend.